Perfect timing. Perfect timing. You know what's so crazy, man? See, I get a little paranoid sometimes. I get a little paranoid, man. And look, I trust this guest unequivocally, right? I trust this brother unequivocally. But I got a little nervous. He a busy man. He a big timer, man. Look, listen. I don't want to set the stage wrong. I want to make sure we do this thing right here. Because this next guest, somebody again that I trust unequivocally, somebody that's giving me a lot of game, somebody that I've been able to tap in with on a regular basis whenever I need information, whenever I need jewels, whenever I need some kind of insight. This the brother I lean on, the good brother. So let me give him a proper introduction, right? This man, 10-year NFL veteran, offensive lineman, 118 games played with 62 starts. That brother stayed on the grass. You couldn't keep him off. Hey, listen, you want me to start? I'm rotating. Hey, start. Hey, whatever you need me to do. Hey, pinch hit, whatever it is, I'm there. 10-year NFL veteran, 118 total games played, 62 starts. Coming out of Kansas State University, drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in the second round, and also played for the Lions, the Browns, the Broncos, the Packers, the Giants, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, collecting those NFL checks. And with the Steelers, he won Super Bowl 40, becoming an NFL champion. You've heard him as a color commentator, calling a ton of college football games. You've seen him every day on NBC Sports Philadelphia as an analyst covering your Philadelphia Eagles. You've also seen him on other platforms as well. You've heard him on 94 WIP. You've seen him on Jacob Sports. He's a two-time Emmy winner, member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Get at me, dog. You feel me? The man, the myth, the legend, the Don Dada. Y'all know who it is. Barrett Brooks. Come on, man. How are we feeling this evening, sir? First and foremost, I'm glad to have you here, my man.
Matt, you gave me too much justice, man. Too much justice, man. I'm just trying to make it happen, bro. Just trying to make it happen, man. How you doing, man? I appreciate you having me on the show.
I'm doing great. Again, I'm grateful to you taking the time. I know you're a busy man. Like I said, I know NBC Sports got you all over the place, man. And we were supposed to have you on last week, to prep for the draft, but obviously some existential circumstances happened. We don't got to get into that. But I'm just grateful to have you here. Grateful for today. Right. And we got so much to get into because, the draft obviously just ended. The Philadelphia Eagles just brought in a new crop of guys. So many guys. Let's just go from top to bottom, right? They bring in Quinyon Mitchell in the first round. He falls to their lap. Then they're able to get Dejean, who falls out of the first round. They bring in a relatively unknown edge rusher in Jalyx. Then they bring in a running back out of Clemson, Will Shipley, Anias Smith. I like to call him Mr. All-Purpose, the wide receiver / punt returner. Then they bring in the legacy product, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Trevor Keegan out of Michigan, Johnny Wilson, the 6'6" behemoth wide receiver out of Florida State, and then Dylan McMahon, the bulldog out of NC State. So, let's start from the top. And I really brought you on here to really break down the offensive line stuff because I know that's where your bread and butter is. But let's start from the top, right? Quinyon Mitchell, just break it down to me how you were processing day one or night one of the NFL draft and how things turned out for the Philadelphia Eagles.
They must be living right over there at the NovaCare Center. For them to get Quinyon Mitchell at pick number 22, didn't have to trade up or trade anything. They kept this 2 second-round pick. I knew if they wanted a cornerback the caliber of him, they were going to at least have to, trade up for him. Number one, because he was the best corner in this draft. Number two, I didn't even do any breakdowns on him because I knew that the Eagles didn't have a snowball's chance in hell in getting him. I break down stuff for NBC and I do little hits for him. And he's one of the guys that I didn't go into, breaking down because I was like, nah, the Eagles won't be able to pick him up. So I went in and did, both Alabama corners. I did Cooper Dejean. I did those guys as far as cornerbacks. And then I turned around and said, you know what, they're not gonna get them. Then all of a sudden, like I said, they're living right over at the NovaCare Center. The clouds lined up straight, opened up a pathway. The sun, moon, and the stars were in alignment. And they drafted 14 offensive players before they got to the first defensive player. And I was like, yo, there might be a possibility that if they wanted to get a corner, they could pick from the cream of the crop. Mm-hmm. It just so happened They went drafted a defensive end, an edge rusher, then a defensive lineman, then another edge rush in. I'm like, oh no, is there a possibility? And lo and behold, and a couple of offensive linemen went, and there he was sitting at pick number 22, the best cornerback in the draft. Just like last year with Carter, the best player in the draft. Lined up, and got him at pick number 9. But at 22, they didn't have to move or anything, kept all their picks, and they get Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback from Toledo, the total package. And quiet as kept, he fits perfectly within the scheme of the defensive coordinator.
All right, break that down. Break that down, because Vic Fangio brings in a lot, and I'm curious to see what your thoughts on how he fits, because I think Quinyon Mitchell has to start day one. You don't draft him at that spot in the first round if you're not playing him day one.
I don't know. And he should be able to beat out everybody on day one. He's one of those cornerbacks. He played at Toledo as a quarterback, a playback quarterback that runs a lot of zone. He's zone cornerback, kind of like what Bradbury used to be. You know what I'm saying? But with speed. He is a cover 2 corner, plays off. But then that's all he played. He didn't have the opportunity to really go out there and do bump and run, play man to man, because that's what they ran in the system he was in Toledo. So you can't fault him there. Then he goes to the combine and rips it up, man to man, bump and run, you name it. He did everything to perfection. He was no doubt the best cornerback at the Senior Bowl, which put him in a great mindset that, all right, I am the best corner. Now I knew he was special, because 2 years ago I actually called Central Michigan game against Toledo, and they had a pretty good wide receiver. He was a return guy, wide receiver. I forget what his name was at the time, but I can remember me not calling his name out but one time. And it's only because he got his name called out. Quinyon Mitchell wasn't on him. But all day he plastered him. He didn't have a shot to catch anything. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy that this guy is this good. So he stuck out to me 2 years ago. Like, this kid is pretty good. Long story long, we get to pick number 22. We pick him up. I'm shocked. I mean, I had a write-up on him. I knew exactly what the player he was. I actually, commentated the game for him. But then for us to pick him up was totally crazy. Because I'd have been cool if they'd got Cooper Dejean at pick 22. Or one of the Alabama corners, Kool-Aid McKinstry, one of those guys.
Right,
Terrion Arnold, one of them. I'd have been cool with one of those guys.
Yeah, even Nate Higgins. I know a lot of people talked about him too.
4-2. Yeah, you can't coach speed. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's talking about, him, he's not a guy, he's not gonna come up and make a tackle. Let me tell you, they pay cornerbacks to cover. I can remember I'm playing Dallas. I pull around the corner, it's 19 Bob. That's an outside zone stretch play where I pull around the corner and I got to get the widest man on the field. The widest man have to be Deion Sanders. I'm running towards him. Deion looks at me and runs out of bounds. And I'm kind of looking like, it's a big fella. They don't pay me to take on blocks. They don't pay me to tackle running backs. Next time you come out here, all you got to do is point to the sideline and I'll go. You ain't got to worry about it. Deion said that out of his mouth. He'll tell you to this day, oh, man, they don't pay me. They don't pay me for that. They don't pay me for that. No, that's all right. First of all, I'm not going to try to come and cut your legs. You know what I'm saying? Because he might get a concussion with, hit my knees or something like that. So Deion let you know. They pay corners to cover. And he's going to be one hell of a cover corner. But I tell you what, Quinyon Mitchell does it all. He does it all. He's a total package as far as what you want. If you look at Terrion Arnold, I would say he is the most refined, has the best cornerback skill set. But he ran like a 4.5 40.
Right.
Quinyon Mitchell ran a 4.3. So he's the most pure cornerback out of the guys we were talking about. Terrion Arnold was the most pure cornerback. Kool-Aid McKinstry's right there with him. There's not really much that separates those three guys. In fact, you can add Cooper Dejean in that. Yeah. It's not really much with the scheme that the Eagles are going to play that they wouldn't have to sacrifice anything to play in that system.
So why pick Mitchell then?
Because he was the total package as far as number one, speed. 2, athleticism. 3, he played the scheme that they're going to play here as far as his responsibility as a cornerback. 4, they got the relationship with him because the coach and the head coach of the Eagles are like best friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard they were like roommates in college or something like that.
Roommates in college. So he's getting intel on him that he couldn't get on Cooper Dejean, that he couldn't get on Terry and Arnold or Cooley McKendry or, any of those guys. He got that intel straight from the horse's mouth. So why wouldn't you pick up a player like that? He'll fit inside the locker room. They know exactly who he is. You know what I mean? Those are little things that you gain when you have that type of relationship with the coaching staff. So I mean, you have to pick a guy that you feel comfortable with him coming into your system. They had more information on him. He's ran a 4.3 40, perfect scheme, shown toughness and has a chip on his shoulder, and the kid is morally strong. I mean, he could have went to Alabama and started in front of one of them cornerbacks. He could have went there. And Debo wanted them guys into starting. He turned down money. You get big loot to go to Alabama. He turned down loot. I'm talking about like upwards of $1 million.
He could have took Terry and Arnold or Kool-Aid job probably.
That's what I'm saying. He'd have went and took one of their jobs. When they're bringing in a kid like that, they're not bringing him in to be a guy that's going to sit and watch. They want him to play immediately.
And that's my mindset.
Back in the day. So
indubitably, like fast, quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I mean, I'm of the mindset you don't draft a guy like Quinyon Mitchell, you don't draft guys like Cooper Dejean to sit on the sideline, especially knowing what we know about that defense from last year. I think from the Eagles' perspective, you went DB the first 2 picks. You went corner and hybrid corner safety. You went DB back to back. That if that's not a clear indication of how they felt about that DB room, I don't know what tells you otherwise. So I want to get your perspective on the Dejean addition, because that's another guy that we didn't expect them to get. A lot of people had him going in the first round, but I did a couple mock drafts myself, and there was some of them that came out where he fell to the second. So I'm trying to figure out your perspective on how he fell to the second. How did the Philadelphia Eagles land Cooper Dejean, and then break down his fit and how adding him and Mitchell can really take this defense to another level?
Swiss Army knife, man. And I think that kind of hurt him because they saw him playing a lot of different positions. Like, once again, he's a cover 2 corner, meaning he's going to be a corner that's going to play off the receiver. He's not really a bump and run corner. If you ask him to do it, he can do it. He's a great athlete. Man, the first time I saw him, I hadn't watched any film on him, but what I did see was his basketball highlights in college. I'm like, in high school. I'm like, yo, and they were just talking about him last year and how good of an athlete he was. And I'm watching, because, at the time we're watching probably the most boring game in the world when I was watching Iowa play. What was that they were playing? Iowa was playing, it wasn't a bowl game, but it was the Big Ten championship game. That was the most boring game I ever saw. I was getting Michigan or something like that. It was so boring. Their offense, their defense, was just a hard-nosed defense. Offense boring. So that's why their punter got drafted, because he was showcased, because they were always punting. Got drafted. So I'm watching. I'm like, man, they got some pretty good DBs out there. And he was always flashing. But before I saw him really Debo somebody, they showed highlights of him playing basketball. I'm looking like, yo, this boy can jump. This guy can jump out the gym. He's a special type of athlete. And then I watched him play. And then I went back and started watching film on him. And that's when I was like, look, this kid can be anything you want him to be. There's nothing wrong with that, especially with the people that they try to draft on the Eagles team. Just like the offensive line. All these guys have played interchangeable positions. You know what I'm saying? Left, right, guard, tackle, center guard. Interchangeable positions. They want those type of guys. Well, he is exactly that type of guy. Look at Avonte Madison. CJ GJ. They play multiple positions. Both of those guys, CJ GJ and Avonte Madison, can start in the nickel corner position. But both guys can also start at the safety position. So they like those interchangeable guys. They were caught last year with their pants down because they didn't have anybody to fulfill that type of role for them. And that's what happened to them. They didn't have that guy to really help them take it to the next level, because, it just was, they start running out of bodies. And it went from, cornerback went from being their worst position on the field or one of the worst positions on the field, to be in a strength right now because they have so many. The competition at the cornerback position is going to be crazy. When you think about the guys they have from last, like Zach McPherson, if he didn't get hurt last year, I believe he'd have been the starting guy out there at the wide corner when Bradbury was tripping. He'd have been that guy, but he got hurt. And then Josh Jobe, they love him. They just didn't give him an opportunity to really play much, but they really love him. They love him. Both guys from Alabama they love. You know, Eli Ricks, they love him. He played a whole lot. But then they also had a guy that I think they fell in love with out there at the cornerback position that, you know, Keely Ringo. I'm under the assumption they didn't pick these two guys they just picked, that Keely Ringo was going to be the guy starting opposite of Big Play Slay.
So you think regardless if they was able to get Quinyon Mitchell or not, you think they was going to find a way to move over from Bradbury and just say, hey, Ringo win that number 2 spot?
I think he, and it's just me talking. And I'm going to tell you this about Bradbury. I don't think that that's the best version of Bradbury you're going to get from this point on. You'll never get that again. He won't allow you to get that again. I'm going to tell you that. He's going to ball out. You know what I'm saying? Given an opportunity, he's going to show why he got paid what he got paid. And he's not as bad as what it was displayed last year, the last 6 games. Yes, they went out there and picked on him a lot, but he learned from that position, and he's not going to be put in that position again. He will not get beat like he beat. And it's kind of damning because it's almost like he didn't care. And that's not what I've seen in Bradbury and how he played the game up until the last 6 games of this season. I would have never thought I'd have got that type of effort out of him, number one, but he just didn't know what he was doing out there. And it's hard for me to understand how a guy that's played as long as he's played didn't know what to do until I heard what was going on in the team. Nobody knew how to play the position because they weren't coached effectively enough to be out there and play. Those guys just didn't become ass in a matter of 6 games. Nobody knew what the heck to do. How do you go from stopping the best offense in the league in Miami to stopping the Bills to stopping in the second half the Chiefs? And it's about not knowing what you were supposed to do. That's the basis of it. So the players they had, they don't all stink. It's just they didn't know where to go and how to play the game. And that was a big fault of them not being coached the way they were supposed to be coached. I would not have done that. I would not have, switched my coordinators mid-season. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You let that guy finish it out, and you just have your special assistant, guy that's going to help you call a defense. You don't just totally switch defenses like that. I don't care whose decision it was. It was a piss-poor decision, and that's why they got really, really bad the last 6 games. Really bad. Nobody knew what to do. And when you're playing football, if you're thinking, that means you're already 3 steps behind everybody else in the play. You can't be that guy because the offense knows what the play is, number 1, where they're going, number 2, and they know the snap count. So you're already behind. Anytime I watch a film and I see 3 guys in 1 gap, that means there's 2 gaps that are wide open. And the Cardinals took advantage of it. All those teams that 6 games took advantage of that opportunity. So yeah, I mean they were bad, but they weren't as bad as I saw them out there. They're not that bad, and Bradbury's not that bad. You'll see a whole different Bradbury. He's gonna come back ready to ball, and they're not just gonna take that position from him if he's on the roster. Because between me and you, I really think that he's gonna be a June 1st casualty. June 1st, June 2nd guy. They're gonna try to cut him then, so they don't have to take a blunt of all that salary cap from him. But I think they're gonna cut him, allow him to go, play somewhere else. They're just going, suck it up and take that casualty, that cap casualty. But they got too many guys right now in the fold that can play. Too many guys that can play. I mean, they got like 13 DBs. Yeah. They got Maddox, Mario Goodrich is still there. Josh Jobe, Zach McPherson, Eli Ricks, Keely Ringo, Darius Slay. They still got CJ. I mean, that's a lot of guys that are cornerbacks that can play on this team.
Got the kid Tyler Hall that they picked up from the Raiders.
Yep, Tyler Hall.
He's a pure nickel. So
see, that's what I'm saying. They got guys go out there and demo. You know what I'm saying? And then they got Rodgers reinstated.
Yes,
Rodgers.
Yes.
So that's a lot of cornerbacks. So they went from having no cornerbacks to having way, way too many cornerbacks. So I mean, it's gonna be tough for guys to come in and make the squad, man. I mean, it's going to be tough for a guy like Avonte Maddox even to make the squad because, number 1, he's injury prone. But man, he's just so tough when he's out there playing, man. If he'd have played this year, bro, I'm telling you, he was tough, man. I mean, look what he did against Dallas. You know, he was demoing before he got hurt, and he got hurt. You know what I mean? And then, you know, look at this year. It's just second, third game of the season. You know, the cards didn't fall right for him, you know. And Zach McPherson, we haven't really seen him get an opportunity to go out there and ball. But man, I got a lot of confidence in him also.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the backup nickel. Then he got hurt in preseason, so it was just
So it's tough, man. It's tough, man. So you know, I mean, and also the safety position. You know, I mean, it's kind of a, you know, back to back to two, because Sidney Brown's gonna come. You got to play Sidney somewhere.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I think,
you're not gonna be able to stop him. He's gonna will himself into a starting safety position somewhere.
That's why I'm looking at Vic Fangio and I'm saying, okay, he's here. He's been in the game for a long time. Who on this roster can help you maximize what you're trying to accomplish? Obviously, you got young guys in Quinyon, Mitchell, Cooper Dejean. Cooper Dejean is very versatile. He gives you safety duties. He gives you the nickel, and you know I personally believe Dejean. I personally believe Fangio is going to have a lot of fun with Dejean, because he's going to be able to use him all over that field. You can use Dejean on the outside, the nickel, the safety. You can use him in the box. You can sit him as a blitzer. Like, I think Fangio is going to have a lot of fun with Dejean, right? Taking it a step further, though, right? One pick that clearly said, in my opinion, one pick that was clear as day a Vic Fangio influence pick was the kid out of Houston Christian.
Yeah.
Jalyx Hunt, right? Yep. Now, this kid, like 6'4", 250 plus pounds, former DB turned edge rusher. Break down what you think went into that pick, because I was shocked when I saw his name come across the board. I mean, I've never heard of Houston Christian at all.
Right. Well, I think it was Houston Baptist back in the day.
Okay.
Houston Baptist back in the day, yeah.
Was it also Houston Tabernacle further back?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, something, you know what I'm saying? You know,
it sounds like a church, don't it?
Thank you, Lord.
It sounds like a church.
Yeah,
Houston Christian Tabernacle. Welcome, Jalyx Hunt to the fold.
Hey, you come to the altar, man. And when they picked him up, you know, I'm breaking down. As soon as they pick him up, I'm breaking down, you know, spots for NBC. They get to the third round, they say his name, and I'm scrambling. And I had to tell the folks out and out, yo, hey, there's no BS about me. I'm sorry, but I do not have any film on this guy. I've never had any film on this guy. Although I'll tell you this, he has a high scouting number. His scouting number was up there like with a second round or third round type of numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers he had him there. And then I went back and looked at a little Senior Bowl film. Like, okay, he got a little pop to him, but he's so raw, man. He is just so raw. He's going to take a little bit for him to get into a way in which he could play, and which why I didn't understand at the time why they picked him up, because number one, the first 3 rounds are rounds that you need to play.
Right.
The first 3 rounds, you're expected to compete. The first 3 rounds, you're expected to get on the field and make the 45-man roster on game day. Those are the expectations for you. You've got to be able to go out there and make some things happen. And I'm looking like, where is this guy going to go? What is he going to be? So then I did a little more research, looked into him, like, oh, all the scouts love him. Did a little more research, saw a couple of films, caught a couple of games. I'm like, oh, he's breaking out. But then I just still didn't see, he's just too raw for me to say I can make an accurate assessment of what he's going to do, not even in the future, because I had a guy that I played with the Steelers, kind of the same type of build, same type of athleticism, named Alonzo Jackson from Florida State. And if you look him up and watch film on him, it's like I'm watching a recreation of Alonzo Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Virtually the same guy. This is back in like maybe 2003. He was like 2003, 2004. No, 2003, 2002, 2004. Around that area, he got drafted. He got drafted in the second round. And Alonzo just didn't, Zoe just didn't live up to what we thought was going to get from Florida State, rush in. He same type of build, same everything. He just didn't do it. And I see them same characteristics in Alonzo that I saw in him. And I'm telling everybody now, just go ahead and check him out. Go ahead and see the type of player that he is, and it's kind of the same what I see when you talk to Jalyx Hunt. You know, kind of the same mannerisms, body type, the way he moves, all that stuff looks exactly like him. And I'm not saying it, you know, that to say that he's going to be what Alonzo is and Zoe is, and not, you know, be that productive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's what I see in him. And until I see different, you know, because I mean, because you got seven sacks, what, seven and a half sacks at that level, bro. If I was playing on, you know, at that level, I wouldn't give up a sack. I wouldn't give up a pressure. I'd have like 50 flatbacks. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been killing folks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
he's
know,
a project. He's a project. That's the bottom line. He's a project. And he's
will they be patient with that project? And you're not supposed to have a project in the third round.
You know, so
participate in the third round.
The Eagles have been taking risk these past few years with that third round pick. They took a risk on Dejean Taylor in the third round. Remember that?
Yeah.
They took a risk on they took a risk on the Kobe Dean in the third round. You know, they've been playing with fire with that third round. And look,
I hope he plays well. I mean, I got total faith in Howard, because Howard, you say what you want to say. Them first 2 rounds, bro, you say what you want to say. He won just instantly from those 2 rounds. I can't say anything. I can't say anything bad about the draft, because those 2 rounds, you know, the players that he got there, there's nothing I can say. You know, how he won the draft. You know, he won the day. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he got 2 guys that could start and play immediately. And you know, I mean, and even if Cooper DeJean is a punt returner, I mean, I hate to say it, man, but it's gonna be tough for Brent Kobe to keep him off the field, bro. It's gonna be tough.
So Brent Kobe got to compete with Cooper DeJean. He got to compete with
the receiver. What's his name?
A couple other rookies as well. He got
Anias Smith.
He got to compete with Anias Smith.
Anias Smith was a baller, man.
And Will Shipley out of Clemson. Will Shipley was a return man for Clemson. So that return room, that special teams room, just got more crowded with guys that can do your job, Brent Covey, and those guys they look a little bit more explosive. Now that we're here, I want to get your thoughts on, you know, 2 of their skill position picks, right? Will Shipley and Anias Smith. Will Shipley, the Clemson running back. Anias Smith, the Texas A&M wide receiver. I like to call Anias Smith Mr. All-Purpose, Mr. Do-It-All. Call him Hustle Man, because he do everything. He got everything you need. Listen, he got ACs, he got radios, he sell deodorant stick, he sells socks, he sell bootleg, everything. So, listen, so just give me your thoughts on Anias Smith and Will Shipley and what they could potentially bring to the table. Because again, I think Will Shipley, he can immediately challenge Kenny Gainwell for running back 2 duties.
Ooh, see, I'm not that confident in Shipley being that guy, but I will say this: Shipley's probably the safest guy, you know, in that draft that they picked up. He's a safe pick. Number one, because I mean, the guy's smart as a whip, bro. He graduated with a 4.0 in 3 years at Clemson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you say what you want to say, Clemson is still, you know what I'm saying, a college. You know what I'm saying? And to graduate with his degree in 3 years with a 4.0, he's definitely got the brains. But I think what you mostly going to get from Shipley is a guy that's going to be consistent. He's going to learn the offense. He's going to soak it up. He's not going to make many bad plays. He's going to make sure that he crosses his T's and dots his I's. He'll be a safe guy. If you want to go out there and put him in there, he can catch the ball in the backfield. He needs to slow down on dropping the ball a little bit. But, you know, he's one of those guys who's a safe pick as far as, all right, I need you to go in there. I need you to pick the blitz up. That's your job. Pick the blitz up, or run this route, catch it, or, you know, run. I need a first down, give it to him, let him go. Because he plays a lot bigger than his frame gives him.
Right. He's like 5'8", 205, maybe 200, something like that. He's around there.
But he's gonna run. He's gonna always be gaining yards. You know what I'm saying? He's always gonna be falling forward, and he's gonna be a consistent guy. You're not gonna lose anything when you come to him. You're not gonna get any bad plays. He's gonna be a consistent guy to do what you explained. If the hole is there, he's gonna hit that hole. If the play's designed to go right there, Shipley's gonna go right there. And you need that consistency sometimes to go out there, because not everybody's gonna be able to break a huge play. And he doesn't have game-breaking speed, but he is fast enough. Ran a 4.5 at the combine. You know what I'm saying? When you run a 4.5 at the combine, that means that, you know, pro day probably be around a 4.4. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's the way it was when I was in college. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you ran at the combine, you can always take a second off, because it's like me, you know, whoever second off, because, you know, it's hard with that electronic time to run those type of plays.
Yeah. Yeah. But, so right here, Will Shipley at the combine, he ran. Oh, I'm sorry, not the combine. At his pro day. At his pro day, he ran a 4.39.
See, at the combine, he ran a 4.5.
That's crazy.
Look at those. Look at his combine numbers. Look at his combine. Let me see what's combine.
That's a pretty drastic difference. What do you think goes into that?
Oh man, it's that electronic. That electronic clock. You know what I'm saying? Once your hand moves, when it comes up, it's starting. Guys are trying to press as much as they can. Because once the hand starts moving, that's when the clock goes. And guys are trying to move and keep their hand in there and still be moving forward. I mean, they're trying to perfect it, man. That's why these guys run 4.2s and everything else. I didn't have them, bro. I ran in at the time, almost like clog. I mean, they were turf shoes. You know what I'm saying? I ran in turf shoes, dog, in the combine.
I don't know what those are. I ain't heard of them before. Right.
Turf shoes are like basketball shoes. Yeah, like basketball shoes. These guys running track shoes now. You know what I'm saying? They got Usain Bolt shoes out there. You know what I mean? Trying to get every advantage they could. I mean, even what they're wearing, man. Bro, we had dress graves.
Dress graves. I was about to say. It's every year it's getting slimmer and sleeker, whatever they wear.
Right. So they projected, but when I look at it, what he did at the combine, I mean, he ran, that's a good time. That's a good time at the combine, but he's a consistent guy that will give you consistent yard. He ran a 4.3 at Clemson's pro day, but what is the combine? I see that.
Right. I feel you on that.
You got to get that when the combine, that's where it counts. The combine is where it counts. You know what I'm saying? But look, neither here nor there. I never saw him have that game-breaking speed on film. The honest guy doesn't lie. He didn't have that game-breaking speed, but still, that's still fast as hell. That's picking him up and putting him down. That's being a baller. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Now, when you get to Anias Smith, you got Mr. Versatility, like you said. Boy, he's special when he gets the ball in his hands. That's when he's special. So you try to get his hands any way you can, whether it's on special teams. It's hit or miss whether he's going to catch the punt or not. You know what I'm saying? But damn, when he catches it, he's explosive, bro. He's explosive. He gonna get there. He's going to make you miss. He's just explosive. So you got to get him with like jet sweeps, wide receiver screens, tunnel screens, little slants to get up the field, run routes in which, you take advantage of him getting the ball. But the faster you get the ball in his hand, the more explosive he can be. He'll make guys miss, man. So, that's the type of guy that he is. He's a special player when he's got the ball. You just got to get the ball to him, man. I mean, I love how this kid plays. He's got so many highlights, man. But with them highlights, some plays you think like, oh, that almost cost you, man. That almost cost you.
Yeah.
You got to secure it.
Absolutely. It's interesting. I think about that wide receiver room, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. After that, it's a crapshoot. They brought in Devontae Parker. They brought in Paris Campbell. They still got the kid Joseph Njigba. They got somebody else they brought in the draft as well, and Johnny Wilson out of Florida State University. Right again, Anias Smith. They got a handful of guys that are directly competing for that wide receiver 3 spot. As of right now, who do you think is best poised or best positioned to win that wide receiver 3 spot? If you had to bet on somebody, who's winning that wide receiver 3 spot?
To me, they got to pencil in right now Devontae Parker. He's got really the best experience, not the most, but the best experience out of guys they got in their locker room right now. But the only thing with Devontae Parker, former first rounder, I think it was Louisville, he's got to find a way to get separation. Jalen's not one of those guys that he's gonna throw the ball on you like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a little bit of separation because if you're covered, you're covered. He's not likely to throw the ball covered because he don't want to make a mistake. But he's got to find a way to get open. His route runner's got to get better to really take advantage of what he is as a receiver. He's got to find a way to create that separation. And same thing with Johnny Wilson. When you look at him, he's 6'6", big target, huge target, get him in the middle of the field. Maybe he opens up a little bit, once he learns how to run routes the right way and get open with his routes. He could be special, man. He could be special in the middle of that field in that slot position. But to me, Devontae Parker is the guy that I see there. Then they got the big play in Paris Campbell. The thing that we love about him, once he gets out there, he's going to catch it. You can be open all day, have a perfect ball in, but if you ain't going to catch it, or you're going to let the DB catch it, we don't need you out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened, man. That's what happened, man. Last year with your boy.
No, he ain't my boy. And
What
my
was his
boy.
name? I forgot his name.
I don't remember his name. So they told Quez.
Yeah, Quez Watkins. You can't let the DB catch it, number one. You got to catch it. And when you have the opportunity for a big play like that, you got to take advantage of it, man. You only got a smaller number of times in which you can have plays like that. He just didn't do it. So yeah, he's a number one. He's a veteran player that's gonna give you that speed on the outside, and he's gonna catch it if you throw it to him. And that's what you needed, man. Devontae, you ain't got to worry about Devontae. You ain't got to worry about AJ. They're gonna go out there and work, man. But after that, like you said, it's slim pickings, but not really slim pickings, but you got to pick your poison. And I'm gonna tell you what, Cubby's like, look, y'all got to give me an opportunity to play receiver too, because it's getting really crowded in this return room. Give me a couple tunnel screens, I can make it happen, because he tried to do it last year. You know what I mean? He tried to do it last year. But yeah, I'm gonna say Devontae Parker is probably the lead. Lucky number 13 is the lead in that wide receiver room for the third receiver. Then, you talk, like you said, we talk about, your boy Johnny Wilson, Florida State, 6'6".
I think he's a little too big, just to
235.
He's a little too brolic for the slot, in my opinion.
But he's not. He's gonna play on the outside, but he's not. He's not a tight end though.
No. Yeah. He's. I was looking at
that transition.
Yeah, I was looking at the film. 6'6", 230. You
don't play like it though.
He don't. And what he doesn't have in technique, he makes up for in the size and the physicality at the line of scrimmage and the catch radius, right? And just the raw athleticism. If he can find that perfect marriage, that balance, physicality he plays with, Johnny Wilson could be a threat in this league. Again, I mean, it's an uphill battle. I mean, you're behind AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. What opportunities are you really going to have? God forbid if one of those guys get hurt. So he's going to have limited opportunities to really get out there. All these guys are going to have limited opportunities.
But Tone, you got to understand this, man. They give you an opportunity. You got to take advantage of the opportunity every single time. He's got to get his route running. He doesn't create that separation in his passing routes. I mean, in his running these routes, it was always a 50-50 ball with him. Even slants were a 50-50 ball with him. You got to get that separation in your route running. And that's got to be learned. Somebody's got to sit them down and look, this is what you got to do to get open. Run it, bam, drop your hips. All that stuff is a factor on whether you're going to get the ball or not. And you can be out there running routes and you're not running them right and you don't have that separation. You won't get the ball thrown to you. Especially when you got the likes of, Devontae Smith, man. His route running is crazy.
But that's why I think Anias Smith, Johnny Wilson, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, I think those four rookies in particular are in prime position to elevate their games and more so develop their games more than they've ever had before. Because best believe Johnny Wilson and Anias Smith playing behind Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. Hey, listen, Johnny Wilson better pay close attention to AJ Brown, and Anias Smith better pay close attention to Devontae Smith. And then on the other side, best believe Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean facing off and matching up against AJ Brown and Devontae Smith in practice and training camp regularly. That's gonna get you going.
Iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpens iron. You need that. That's what practice is for. Honing those skills, getting you better as a player. Learn how to run routes. You know what I'm saying? Forget you're supposed to be fast, huh? Oh, I'm about to take you deep. Right. And I'm gonna take you deep. I'm telling you, I'm taking you deep. But the way in which I run the route, the way in which I'm gonna block you out like I'm a power forward, all that stuff matters when you're doing it. You got to get the little idiosyncrasy. So if I'm a guy like Johnny Wilson, I'm gonna be in coach's hip pocket all the time. The receiver coach and Nick Sirianni, because he was a receiver too. I want to learn as much as I can, bring in as much as I can, so I can have that edge. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a sponge, and that's what you do it in. I can see guys going in and competing at positions like the cornerback position is wide open. The third receiver, to me, is wide open. That right guard spot is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
There, and even the backup running back spot is kind of wide open right now. Who's going to be the backup? I'm putting my money, all day, on Kenneth Gainwell. I got to put my money on Kenneth Gainwell.
Because of the experience.
Because of the experience and because of the fact, man, he just don't know that he ain't supposed to be that good. Man, he wants to be great. He works his butt off like he's going to be great.
So you're high. You're high on Gainwell.
I'm high on Gainwell. And I think it's going to be tough for for anybody, like Shipley to come in and take that from him. You know what I'm saying? He's not having it, bro. He's not having it. I'm telling you that right now. He's going. The biggest gain you have is from that first or second year. And he said, look, this is what I am. I'm playing well. And now he's going to it. I'm going to solidify it this year. I'm going to solidify it this year. I need some burn. I'm solidifying it this year. So I can see him going in and being a guy that you're not going to be able to stop me. I can't be denied. I can't be denied. So, I mean, it's going to be tough for Shipley to get. That's why Shipley got to go out and play bananas on special teams. He's got to be the up back, making every tackle. You know what I'm saying? If you want to dress on Sunday, you got to be that guy making that tackle every play. You know what I'm saying? On the punt, every play on kickoff. You know, and that's how you get on the team, man. Which is, we talk about a guy now. Mr. Trotter, Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
I'm glad you went there. The legacy draft pick, and
yes,
I love that the Philadelphia Eagles, despite that Trotter was probably projected to go maybe in the third or second because of just his linebacker ranking, right? But none of us anticipated, the first 14 picks of the draft being offense. Nobody anticipated that offense was leading the charge, in this draft. But I think that's just where the league is going. Obviously, with the rule changes and all that kind of stuff. But we can get into that another time. But Jeremiah Trotter Jr., the Clemson linebacker. I mean, 6 feet, 228 pounds. Not the biggest dude, but he brings a ton of athletic ability, football IQ, and coverage ability to the position. So give me your take on bringing in Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Give me your take from the legacy side of it, and then heartstrings pulled to the side. Give me your take when it comes to the X's and O's and how he may be used.
Well, I mean, let me start it. There's not much different from what I see in Jeremiah Trotter than what I saw T.J. Edwards his rookie year. You know what I'm saying? I see the same guy, just he's more athletic than T.J. Edwards. You saw what T.J. Edwards turned into. Gave that boy opportunity. He went out there and went bananas. Became the best tackle we had on the team last year, the year before last. You know what I'm saying? And went up to the Bears, became a Pro Bowler, baller. And I see that same type. I mean, he's only an inch taller than Trot Jr., just an inch taller. So I'm not worried about how big he is. I'm not worried about him picking up what he need to pick up in the defense. He's going to do all that. And I'm not worried about him being, lineage from Jeremiah Trot. But I played with Trot. And Trot, man, I'm telling you, man, he always had a vendetta. His first year in the league, Ray Rose kept telling him he was going to cut him. Man, I'm about to cut you. I'm about to cut your ass. I'm about to get you up out of here. So he kept telling them that. And from that point on, Trot said, you know what? Each offensive lineman is going to feel my wrath. I'm going to pick one guy out at each day, and I'm going to punish him every day. Bruh.
Were you one of them?
Dog, damn right. Lit me up, bro. In fact, let me tell you how it went. It was my turn. I'm like, Trot, don't be playing around, Trot. You my boy. Don't be playing around. B. Brooks, I got to get you, B. Brooks. I got to get you. Ray about to cut me, man. Ray about to cut me. I got to get you. No, I ain't going to let you get me. So we were on 9-on-7. He comes up to hit me. Man, I gave him an Olay. On me at the ground. Ray Bob and Gruden said, run the play again. Brooksy, you better freaking block him. I said, all right. Man, ran the play again. He know where the ball is coming, and he's coming right over me, and he's running head first and making so bad he lined up like 2 feet back farther and came running downhill, bro. Man, I hit him. Bam. For like 2 seconds, man, the lights went out. I was gone, dog. I promise you. I didn't hit the ground. I just stayed on him and held him. You know what I'm saying? He told me, stop holding me, B. Brooks. Stop
Hold on. Don't let go. Don't let go.
If I'd have let him go, dog, I'd have dropped. I'd have failed, dog. I'd have failed. And then turned back around and running back with right past me. He couldn't get off because I was holding him. And Gruden's like, that's what I'm talking about, Brooksy. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm thinking to myself, man, we better not run that play again. In fact, I'm done for the day. I'm not hitting nobody else. But that's the type of mentality he had. All right, things ain't going well for me on defense. I'm running through somebody. And he gave each one of us, all 14 offensive linemen, a day. And bro, man, I'm so glad when they start playing that boy. I was so glad when they start playing him, bro. But that's the type of mentality. So he grew up you know, meaning Trotter Jr., he grew up with those expectations of his dad his entire life. People act like, oh, you know, he's the NFL level. Bro, he's had that his entire life. I watched that young man in Pop Warner football, Trot on the field. And Trot wasn't no dad, you know what I'm saying? He owned him or anything like that. Trot would sit back and just be watching, just like this. And after each play, both his sons sit down, hear what the coach said, and like clockwork, both of them get up, run back to their pops, ask him what happened, yada, 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 yada. He'll give it to him and go back there. He didn't have to call and tell him, come here. They knew what to do. They wanted to get that information from their pops. They wanted to download, you know what they were doing. You know, most guys be like my son could care less about, you know, my younger son, he only played football because his friends played. He wanted to be a wrestler, so that's what he did. He wanted to stay in wrestling. You know, he wanted to wrestle. Only reason he played not because I told him to play. He played because his friends played. And that's the only reason why he played. He really wasn't into football. In fact, he only really watched. In fact, he's a Steelers fan. He'll watch them play, but he don't watch nobody else play, bro. Nobody else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, yeah. So I mean, he's used to playing under the umbrella of his pop. So that doesn't worry about him. He's not worried about the lineage. He's not worried about coming into Philadelphia. He's lived here. He's lived it already. He knows what it takes to be a player. But I'm gonna tell you this: he's not coming with the intent of filling his pop's shoes. He said he's got his own shoes to fill.
They play totally different, by the way. They look different when they move on the field. I mean,
way different.
The only thing similar is the number and the last name. They play totally different.
He's the guy that flies around. He doesn't, you know, he knows he's a smaller guy, so he's not going to take on bigger blocks like his pops. You know, he's not trying to come up and fill a hole and not get grabbed. He want to hit, boom, release, and go. You know what I'm saying? His pops will just run into a guy and drive him into the play. He's not doing that. You know what I'm saying? He's going to hit, get off of him, and go. You know, Trot wasn't trying to do none of that. Trot was going to run through you to the tackle. You know what I'm saying? Run through you to the running back, run through you to the quarterback. His son is like, boom, he going to hit, get off. You know, he's great at evading blocks. He reads and processes things faster than his pops, gets up the field, knows what he's supposed to do. He runs around blocks. He can run to the play. He guesses right. You know what I'm saying? So he has a totally different skill set than his pops. But damn, he's a good player, man. He was all ACC, bro. They act like, you know, he can't play. He only played like that because he played like that because Trot Jr. played like that. Not because what his dad did. Trot Jr. went out there and put in work. It had nothing to do with his dad. It had everything to do with what he did. Now, he took the information his pops gave him and balled out, but it was never a sense that, all right, I'm going to play like my dad. No, the only thing he was going to do like his dad is go out there and celebrate with the axe chop like his dad. But other than that, he's got his own game. He developed his own game. I'm watching film on him. Like, this kid is good. I mean, I'm not looking, and to me, my mentality was, I'm not looking to see if the characteristics of what, you know, Trot Sr. was doing. I'm not trying to see if he's playing like that. I want to go see what he was doing, how he was playing the game, what's making him one of the best linebackers in the ACC. And that's what allowed me to see that he's really worth the pick that they got him. They underbought a good player. They underbought him.
Yeah, I'm curious, right? A guy, you know, we speak nothing but glowingly about him. He was one of the best linebackers in the FBS in terms of just pure productivity, in terms of coverage ability. You know, every metric says he was one of the best. Yep. Yet he fell all the way to the 5th round. Now, granted, you know, there wasn't really a run on those traditional box linebackers, right? The first one that came off the board was in the 2nd. The following one came off in the 3rd. I mean, it was almost like those guys were becoming obsolete, or they are becoming obsolete. But again, I guess I'm trying to figure out, by your estimation, why do you think he fell in the draft as far as he did?
I mean, look at Wilson. Wilson dropped too, and he was the best linebacker in the ACC.
But we can make sense of that, right? The injuries. We can make sense of that a little bit.
Yeah, but I think more so his size, and they were just like, all right, his size is going to be a detriment to him. And I mean, I played against Dexter Coakley. Dexter Coakley was a little bitty dude for Dallas, but he balled out, bro. You know, the hardest hit I ever been hit, man, was by a small linebacker, Sam Mills. We're playing as the Panthers. I'll pull around on the power, and when on a tackle trap, I'll pull around a tackle trap. The defensive end, the center and the guard, they're supposed to double team to that back linebacker. Well, the the tackle swooped in. When he swooped in, they double teamed. The guard went straight up to that linebacker. So when he pulled up to the linebacker, I pulled around, and I didn't see the next linebacker in line because I'm looking up the field trying to figure out where he is. So when I turned up into the hole, Stan Mills put his helmet right there in my chest.
Right,
I thought he broke my sternum. Bruh, I couldn't breathe, I promise you, for 3 plays. I was holding on by a thread. I got lightheaded and everything, bro. I'm trying to play the game. A good thing they were pass plays. Man, I was done, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had my sternum was bruised. And from that point on, I came down, pulled around with my head on a swivel from that point on. My head had to be on a swivel because he hit me the hardest I ever hit, man. I mean, like he took my soul from me, bro. Right in the middle of my chest, man.
Well, the thing is, like, Trotter Jr., he's entering a jam-packed linebacker room. We talk about the corners, right? And the wide receiver room and the competition there. It's a ton of competition in that linebacker room. They brought in Devin White, Zach Bond, Oren Burks. They brought in the kid Julian Okoro from the Lions in free agency as well. I think he was the first person they brought in, right? Because I think he got cut off waivers, whatever it was. But
they like Ben Van Sumeren.
Ben Van Sumeren, right? Dean is there. There's so many linebackers in that room. Trotter Jr. has an uphill battle, but at the same time, there's a path.
Yep.
There is a path.
Yep. He has an opportunity to go out there and play, man. He's got to make some plays, but he got to take the same mentality as his pops. All right, y'all ain't let me do this. Let me show you how good I am. Maybe he goes the special teams route until he gets his starting position. But, man, he's going to find a way. He's going to figure it out, man, and get on the field, before this year is over with. I don't know where it's going to come from, but he's going to find a way, man. And even if he doesn't, that just means there's great competition in that room, and nobody got hurt, and we'll be a better team because of it. But I tell you, that little cat going to make sure, you know what I'm saying, he's going to be all right, man. I promise you that. He's going to be all right.
I'll tell you this, though. I want to transition to the offensive line room because – they drafted, in my opinion, I believe the Philadelphia Eagles just drafted a starting right guard. I firmly believe that, and Trevor Keegan. And then they also brought in Dylan McMahon out of NC State, and then they also brought in Mekhi Becton as a free agent, right? A guy that's talented, former first-round pick, but injuries and some inconsistencies have kept them from stringing together some pretty good games because of all that. But I want to stay on the rookie side of things. Let's start with Trevor Keegan, the Michigan product, because this dude, I love everything about him. 0 sacks allowed in 2023, only 3 sacks allowed in his entire college career over the course of 982 total pass block snaps. And he was only penalized 6 times over the course of 2,200 plus snaps, right? The dude is polished. The dude is technically sound. The dude is disciplined.
That's what it is right there.
He's not. I think he comes in immediately competing for that right guard spot. Tyler Steen better watch his cookies.
I mean, that's right. He's 6'5", about 310. Has everything you want from a guy that's going to come in and consistently play. Is he ready to play in the NFL right now? Will he be able to beat Steen out? I don't think so. Because, I mean, Steen now understands the position he has is up for grab. He understands and he hears all the noise.
And Matt Hennessy, by the way, the other guy they brought in from Atlanta Falcons. Matt
Hennessy, yeah, exactly. Guard and center.
Mm-hmm.
But he understands this. He understands that he wants to play. He's got to play. And the only reason he's getting it right now is because he was drafted and he got some clock last year. But he also understands it's a different transition from going from tackle into guard. It's totally different because when you're at tackle, you're out there in space. It takes a little longer for the defense end to get to you. You can stop. You can punch him. You know what I'm saying? You got a little more leeway because it's farthest away from the quarterback. It's easier. You know what I'm saying? As a tackle, you just got to deal with speed and more moves. But when you get in at guard, that's where the physicality of the game is really put into practice. When you've got to play so physical because you're the shortest way to the quarterback. He beats you inside, the quarterback is right there. So you got to make sure when you set, boom, you set, it's like you're fighting in the phone booth. You know what I'm saying? You got a short amount of real estate, and you got to defend it. You got to choke, scratch, claw, bite, fight every single play from that position right there. And oh, by the way, you used to be the defensive end on outside where you get the best in the business. For the past couple of years, those guys rushing from the inside have been defensive. Man, look at the guy that just got paid from the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? He lucky Aaron Donald just retired.
The Patriots dude just got paid too.
Right.
Barrymore, right?
Yeah, Barrymore and the defensive tackle from the Colts just got paid also.
Mm-hmm.
So, these guys are getting these super contracts. The kid that left Miami just went to New Orleans.
Christian Wilkins, I think, right?
Getting paid now because they understand that's the shortest way to the quarterback. That's where you go. And if you can beat that guy, and it's usually traditionally, you would say the weaker athletes, say what you want to say, are the guards, especially the right guard. You know what I'm saying? Usually the right guard. And defensive teams understand that. So what they do is they put their elite pass rushers now that are bigger in the interior so they can beat these guards that, usually slow-footed. If he can get it in his head that, all right, this is not like tackle, this is guard where you got to fight every play and you got to blow up right there and not give any ground. You can't give any ground. It's like you're you know what I'm saying? What was that movie I like, 300? It's just like 300, you know what I'm saying? You don't let them gain anything. That's what you got to have, that mentality.
Give them nothing. Give them nothing and take everything.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have that mentality.
Yes.
Right then and there. Give nothing up. Take everything. And that's what you got to do. Bam. You got to fight right there and be in that phone booth and battle. And that's what makes, guy like Landon Dixon. Landon Dixon loves that. He wants all the static you trying to give him. He's trying to put his hands on you and maul you every single play. And if Tyler Steen can get that attitude in his head, man, he could be a gifted player because he's already a great athlete.
I think the perfect scenario. I think the perfect scenario, in my opinion, and you push back if you feel like I'm wrong here. I believe the perfect scenario is, and this is if everything pans out the way we see it. The perfect scenario is Trevor Keegan becomes your starting right guard and Tyler Steen becomes your starting right tackle. But I feel like they believe Steen's arms are a little too short. So I want to know your thoughts on that because they did bring in this undrafted dude out of Howard University. His name is Aneem Dankwa. The dude is like 6'8", like 360. He's Jordan Mailata stature, right? Granted, undrafted guy, a project, not going to see the field, obviously. But, I'm thinking about the future of the right side. The left side is solidified. You got Mailata, you got Landon Dickerson. I think Cam Jurgens, it's that center spot is his position to lose. All he has to do is stay healthy and he's good. But that right guard spot, wide open. The right tackle spot, Lane Johnson is going to be gone maybe in another 2 years or so. What's the future of that right tackle spot? The right side of the Philadelphia Eagles O-line is the biggest mystery to me outside of Lane Johnson. So what do you think is the perfect scenario for those two positions, right guard and right tackle, especially beyond the Lane Johnson era?
Well, Tyler Steen's got to take it and hold it, man. I mean, if he can take it and hold it, it could be his for a long time. I don't see him being a tackle in this league.
Mekhi Becton, you brought him in. If you can keep him healthy.
I think Mekhi Becton is trying to resurrect his career. He's trying to get back on. He's trying to get back on on course. And because he's trying to do that, I don't know if he'll be able to go out and play at the level he's supposed to play at. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to resurrect his career. So he's going to be a swing tackle. He'll probably start a game. He'll probably get some quality reps, because you never know what the health of the players. But at the end of the day, bro, I mean, he was a first-round pick. I think where Mekhi Becton come from? Was he from Louisville also?
Yeah, Louisville. Yeah, he's from Louisville. Yeah.
Man, Louisville getting some athletes, huh? Devontae Parker.
Yeah, but you're right though. You're right. It is a uphill battle for him. He needs to. There's no better situation to resurrect your career than in Jeff Stoutland University. There's no better situation.
You get paid when you leave Stoutland University. You get paid.
I think his age do that. Yep.
Right. You look at all the guys, Dillard, when he got paid when he went to the Titans, he ain't do nothing. He wasn't worth 2 dead flies, but he didn't do anything, but still. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at Big V. He held it down for a little while. What happened to that other kid? First he went to Indy, and then he went to San Fran.
Matt Pryor?
Matt Pryor, yeah.
He got, you're right. Stalin get you paid.
He ain't do nothing then, you know what I'm saying? He lost everything. He ain't but still though, you go to Stalin University, take your little night course. Right now, he's taking a little night course, you know what I'm saying, trying to get in good. And he might have an opportunity to go make some money somewhere else, but you guarantee to make some money when you're at Stalin University. You just got to take hold and learn as much as you can go. Sometimes you got to, stay at the study hall when you're at Stalin University. You got to do whatever it takes to get to a position where you can play, man. And that's where it is, man. You got to make it happen. And these kids, they got an opportunity, man, and they got to go with these opportunities they're given. You can't play around. That's what the NFL stands for, not National Football League, but not for long. And you can get one leg up at Stalin University, you're going to give it. Jack Driscoll just got paid. You know what I'm saying? Sewell Petter just got paid. You know what I mean? Both guys are gone, go play somewhere else.
Nate Herbig got a nice little check from the Steelers, too.
The Steelers, yes. So, it's always, you leave Stalin University, you go to the land of milk and honey, at least for 1 year. At least for 1 year. You're going to get to the land of milk and honey.
You think Stout can get you back on the field? You think Stout can have you ready? I mean, I know you slimmed down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I lost
you're a pretty boy now.
No, bro, I don't know what it is out there, man. I noticed. In fact, if I'd have played last year for the Eagles, I probably could have got it because they just didn't work hard enough. And I think they understand now that they didn't work hard enough. They know, and that's not me trying to throw some shade at them, but you gotta harden your body. The teams that practice hard are the teams that showed up at the end of the year. You look at Kansas City, they practice hard. 49ers, they practice hard. The teams that show up, look at Detroit, they practice hard. Teams that show up are the teams that physically go out there and harden their bodies. The Baltimore Ravens showed up. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out there and harden your body. You got to hit. You know what I'm saying? The way you learn how to tackle is tackling, damn it. Stop thinking you can just be, go out there, we're going to save their body. No, you can't save your body. Your body has to be hard. Your body has to know what it is to go to complete exhaustion, to know that you can go to complete exhaustion and then go more that you thought you couldn't do because you were exhausted. That's what it is, man. You train your body to go from thinking you've given everything your body could give. You harden so everything, and then going back to the huddle and being like, I can't give no more, and then going back and being able to go again. You got to harden your body. You got to hit and get your body used to the physical nature of playing a violent sport. And if you can do that, you'll be fine. But if you don't, it's not going to be good things for this team. And it showed towards the end of the year because they were playing soft, lackadaisical. They just didn't, and I'm not saying they didn't play hard. They thought they were playing hard,
right? But
they weren't playing hard as the teams they were playing. They thought they played hard and practiced hard, but they didn't. And I think for the first time, the head coach saw it, admitted him like, look, we got a lot of work to do.
A couple more B Brooks. I appreciate you for giving me the amount of time you gave me, man. Like you've been cooking with fish grease, and I really appreciate you, my man. Yeah. Final draft pick of the evening for them was Dylan McMahon, offensive lineman out of NC State. He is your interior guy. This dude is a Swiss Army knife. Another guy that's really versatile. Played in 49 games with 44 starts at NC State. And through those 49 games, he was either a left guard, center, or a right guard. And you correct me if I'm wrong, right? Typically, you have guys in this league that they can maybe go from center to left guard, or maybe go from center to right guard, or maybe you have guys that can go from left guard to right guard to swing guard, right? But it's rare you have guys that can go left guard, center, right guard as comfortably as he did it, and they trusted him to do so. So I want to get your thoughts on Dylan McMahon, the interior offensive lineman they drafted at NC State in the 6th round.
He can do that because he's a really good athlete to be in the interior of the offensive line. He's a really good athlete. In fact, I wouldn't say he's Kelsey-esque, but I'm saying he's one of the mobile centers that everybody's looking for right now. And he's got a pass right now into he's got a scholarship to Stalin University, which is going to help him tremendously in his maturation of becoming a player that he wanted to be. He's going to basically be the center, the backup center, or maybe the third team backup center, because Matt Hennessy will probably be a swing guy also for both guards. But he might not play this year, but he needs to go in and go as many study halls as he can go. I can remember I redshirted. If he gets the opportunity to redshirt and just go to study hall and get his grades up, get the best grades he can get from the time he's getting right now to learn some of the best offensive linemen in the nation, the best assistant coach in football, and learn from him, and he'll be just fine, man. He'll be one of those guys that'll come in and play forever because he has the athletic talent and the ability to go out there and play at a high level also. So I impressed. He impressed me with his ability to get out there and reach 3 techniques and reach 1 techniques. He can do all that type of stuff. He can. I don't know if he can block the second level like a Kelsey. There's not too many guys who can do what a Kelsey does, but he'll be very good at doing what a center should be able to do. And above and beyond when it comes to reach blocks and things of that nature and combo blocks, he's very, very good at that. He combo blocks. He doesn't allow himself to get held and gets to the second level. Those are things that he learned early at college, which will help him at this level. Because I know a lot of times people don't understand this. It's a game out there, man. And you guys don't know this, but defensive linemen hold more than offensive linemen. They do, man. They hold, trying not to let you get up to the second level. They'll hold you, grab your jersey, grab you, and keep you from going up there. I mean, they do everything. They used to teach us go into the block, and the guys would hold, especially the guys for the Giants. They hold you, and you got to be able to spin out and spin away to rip their hand off and get to the second level. Man, it's a lot of inner squad, inside the interior offense, like
the game within the game within the game.
Grinding going on, yes, grind. They hold a lot, man. Like when they do stunts, the 3 technique run there and grab the tackle, and then that end will loop in, and he trying to get off, and you can't get off because the guy's holding you. You know what I'm saying? It's it's a game within the game, man, and I love that aspect of football, and I see it. You know what I'm saying? But man, he understands how to do that. He gets there, he doesn't let him get hit. He'll jab him, hit him in their hip, so that tackle can drive him, that guard can drive him. He can get up to the second level. He does that very, very well. He understands that you're going to get a consistent snap every single time. Those are all things that most guys take for granted as a quarterback, that consistency you get from the ball being snapped at the same place every single time. He'll give that to you, So he's got a lot of learning to do. He may be able to redshirt a little bit. That when you redshirt, all you do is practice, go to class, and then go to study hall. That's all you do. You just don't play on Saturdays. It's a long season, but hey, you learn a lot during that redshirt. In fact, my redshirt year, I first got to Kansas State, I was 245, 250, 6'3", and I only benched 225 pounds. I was just a great athlete, and I was just more of a baller than most guys on the high school level.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the college. Everybody were great athletes. Everybody was all Metro and all state. Got to college, man. My starting quarterback at the time, Carl Straw. Carl Straw was 6'4", probably 255. He was bigger than I was. Here I am coming in as a tackle. You know what I'm saying? He's bigger than I am. I'm supposed to be, protecting him, and he's bigger than I am.
He protecting you.
Right. Only benching 225. So long story long, over that all season, I grew an inch, and I went from benching 225 to 350, and squatting, 350 pounds to squatting like 600 pounds, and just without steroids too, in just like 7 months. I went from 7 months in my body never lifting weights to lifting weights, 3 hots in the cot. All I'm doing is practicing and lifting and going to class and study hall. I went from benching that much to 350 and squatting about 600 pounds in just 6 or 7 months, man. You know what I'm saying? 3 hots in the cot, 3 meals, instead of eating oodles and noodles, and you know what I'm saying, and hot fries and all that stuff, to eating real balanced meals. You know what I mean? It was different, man. It was different, man. But that's what he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to sit back, learn from the best professor in the league, and find his way.
Well, since you're talking about meals and 3 hots in the cot and being in the best shape of your life, I don't think anything you've done back then rivals you today, my friend. You are looking beautiful, my guy. You are looking tremendous. I gotta ask you this final question of the evening. Final question, my man. You give me so much of your precious time, and I appreciate you, man. I know the wife probably killing you right now. But I gotta ask you this before I get you out of here. Since you on the fast track to being in the best shape of your life, have you snuck out the crib and got some White Castle?
Bro, there's no White Castles close to me, so I haven't drove to North Jersey. I've driven to North Jersey in about a year, man. I mean, I'm about due, but I'm just gonna hold off, man. You know what I'm saying? I just jump on my bike, ride a couple miles on my bike, man. Do a little lifting, you know what I'm saying, every other day, man. But I feel my body feel better. Health is wealth, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be as wealthy as I can be. Trying to be as wealthy as I can be.
Listen, B Brooks, I love it, man. I love you for giving me the amount of time you gave me, my guy.
So you my guy, man. You my guy.
For sure. Listen, y'all. I tell the people all the time, say, listen, I can get B Brooks on the phone any day, anytime, man. He always pick up. Always pick up. You know what I'm saying?
I'll call you back, man. I'll call you back.
Exactly, man. It's time I shot you a text. You call me and say, hey, what's going on, man? We be on the phone for like a half an hour, 45 minutes. I'm like, yo, listen, I feel like I'm part of the family. So B Brooks, I gotta say, man, I appreciate you for taking the time out and being able to grace this platform that I'm building here. This is my baby, and I really appreciate you for helping me build this thing. Taking the time out. The people appreciate you as always, my man. You're a legend in this game. You are probably the most well-trusted voice. You and Seth Joyner rival each other in that regard. You, D-Gun, you guys are some of the most well-respected, some of the most trusted voices when it comes to talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. And to be able to have you on speed dial means the world to me, my friend. So anything that you got going on, anything you want to promote, please let the people hear it, let the people know it, because I want to make sure that I can give you your flowers the best way I know how.
Oh, man, come on, man. I just, tune in, you know what I'm saying? I got Birds Huddle Monday through Friday on NBC Sports Philadelphia. That's Monday through Friday. When the season starts, I got pre- and post-game show, Eagles Live. We make it happen there. That's where I bread my butter. I make sure, things are great, you know what I'm saying, as far as me and my platform there. They pay the bills, you know what I'm saying? So I give NBC my all. And then I also do college football on the weekends, you know what I'm saying, for ESPN. Hopefully I'll be in the Big 12 this year, but hey, wherever they put me, man, I just love talking football. I love being on the field, in the box, telling about plays, seeing what's going on, letting people know, trying to break it down so the average person can know. I want to be able to talk about sports and my mom understands what I'm saying. That's my ultimate goal, man. That's my ultimate goal,
man. You do a hell of a job, and I know they appreciate you over there at NBC Sports, and I appreciate you, my friend. B Brooks, like I said, it's always love. Hopefully I get you on again before the season starts.
We got to talk once these just before they break for camp, you know what I'm saying? See what's going on, bro. We definitely got to do that.
For sure. So what I'll do is I'll tap in with you as we get closer to that. Then we'll go from there. So Absolutely. Other than that, my guy, I appreciate you. You already know it's love. And thank you for making your debut on Chalk It Up Sports, my guy. You take care, right?
Appreciate it. Look forward to it.
Yes, sir. Wow, man. That was dope. What do I always say to you guys? What's one thing I always say? I am a man of the people, but most importantly, talk to me nice. Talk to me with your chest. Talk to me like you know what I'm saying, baby. Talk to me like you've been here before. Shout out to Barrett Brooks, man. NFL veteran. Spent 10 years in the NFL playing in the offensive line, being in the trenches, being in the mud, getting it, playing that gritty football. Man, that was dope. He gave us a ton of insight on your Philadelphia Eagles rookies. He still has faith in Kenny Gainwell. Me, I'm teetering. I think Will Shipley can challenge him for RB2. He thinks Tyler Steen is likely to win that right guard spot. I think Trevor Keegan is going to push him and push him hard.